This video was made possible by EA Creators Network. Thank you, EA Creators Network, for the free game code for The Sims 4 For Rent expansion pack. So I do in fact have early access, and I started this build before the early access. However, I was hanging on to it so that I could change some stuff up once I got early access. So this is more or less a starter build, but it's also meant to do a rags to riches property owner style in it as well. So to make it as cheap as possible, but to have some room to expand initially, I did not make the apartments teeny tiny. I made them relatively good size basically for starter apartments, but I left two of them empty. So it is a starter apartments, but it's also like a rags to riches starter apartments where you have to earn money and upgrade the apartments that you have right now while also trying to finish and furnish the back two apartments at the same time so that you can get more tenants. And let me tell you, I only have one episode of my For Rent Rags to Riches recorded. I haven't even edited it yet, but I have it recorded, and it's not easy to become rich as a landlord in The Sims 4 For Rent. So far, my sim, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler. My sim hasn't gotten paid rent yet. I don't know if that's a bug. Well, I know there is a feature in the game that your tenants can be late on rent. I know that that's a thing, and that's possibly what's happened. We'll have to wait until the second episode to find out for sure. But as of the end of the first episode, my sim had not yet gotten paid from her tenant, and so she is definitely on the money struggle bus lately. Yeah. So that's kind of, I will tell you this, you're not going to get rich quick. This is not a get rich quick scheme in The Sims 4. I would love to set up, oh no, there's an extra mailbox stuck at the back of the building. Whoops, I didn't even notice that. Hopefully it disappeared when I moved the build into Tomarang. I didn't even check, but just so you know, if you download this lot, there might be an extra mailbox at the back of the lot. Anyways, I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, I'd love to set up a scenario at some point in the future to see just how quickly your sim can go from maybe renting out a single bedroom in their own house to owning a second house that they can rent out, to owning an entire apartment building, to being able to live off of their income from rental properties. I think that would be so interesting to try to do, but I feel like it's gonna take several hours of time, and at this particular moment, I just don't know that I have several hours to devote to one single video like that. I'm gonna try though, because now that I've thought about it, I kind of want to do it. I'm sure there will be others who do it as well, and so we'll get all sorts of different takes on it, but I think it could be interesting. The one thing I haven't really done a lot of yet is play as a tenant. I did, if you watched my other video that I made that released the morning that I released this video, I was testing out laundry machines and holiday decorations and how they work in the new residential rentals. And so you'll have to go watch that video. It's the video right before this one on my channel. But in that video, my sim was a tenant in the more downtown-like neighborhood in the apartment building that came with the game there. And I'm not sure if it was the way the lot was set up or if it's because it was the property owner and her daughter, I believe, or what it was, but I think it was the property owner and her daughter. I don't think it was any other Sims doing it, but they would like just walk through my apartment. I was on the lower level apartment, and they would just come in the back door, walk straight through my apartment, and exit through the front door. Like there was some kind of routing issue, and they were routing through my apartment rather than around it or whatever. So that's about the majority of what I've experienced so far as a tenant, although I would love to play more with that feature as well, and I plan on doing that in my Long Haul Legacy next. I just called it the Long Haul Legacy again. I haven't called it the Long Haul Legacy in a while. It's just Long Legacy. I think it sounds better that way, but for some reason, the thing that I was calling it when I first started it is stuck in my head. You know how those things go. Anyways, I kind of feel like I want Connor to, well, does he have to stay? Do they have to stay on the lot? Like, how are family collections and stuff worked when you move Sims off a lot? I don't think it counts anymore. That's something I need to test out before I move Connor out. But we've decided that Connor is going to be Generation 2 heir, or like main character, I've been calling them, for lack of a better thing to call them. And so I think I want him to move into an apartment building or a duplex or something like that in possibly Newcrest. But anyways, back to the build. All the landscaping is completely 100% just debug. Oh yeah, I started this in Sulani because again I started it before I got early access to the pack. So I started it in Sulani so that I could just get that sort of tropical vibe. To me, anything that has palm trees is tropical. So I was kind of going for that tropical vibe because I'm from Wisconsin and I don't very often see palm trees, so it must be tropical if there's palm trees. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's true or not, though. So, but anyways, I started it in Sulani so I could get that vibe going. And then once I got early access, I moved it over to Tomarang and finished it on the 20 by 20 lot there. I switched out most of the base game doors. Did I leave the bathroom doors? I might have left the bathroom doors, and windows drive me absolutely wild. Every time I would let go of that window, it would either move up a pixel or drop down a pixel, so I absolutely could not get it lined up properly. I gave up and I just kind of eyeballed it to be as close as I possibly could. But I finished it in Tomarang, and then I went through and changed out some of the base game stuff because it was way too dark. I did not like how dark I had made everything. I wanted it to be light and happy. Being not having a lot of money does not mean everything has to be dark and dingy and bad looking. You can still have decent-ish looking stuff and have bright and happy home, even if your sim doesn't have a lot of money to spend on it. So I changed out some of the darker stuff to make it a little brighter and happier, and I did change out some of the landscaping. I will say that giant fern That might have come with Sulani, but I'm not sure. So if it disappears, I'm really, really sorry about that. I meant to change it out, and then I liked it so much, I wanted to keep it. So hopefully it was a base game thing, although I don't think it was. If it disappears, there's these other ferns that I just placed that you can replace them with too if you want, or just not have them, because it would look good, I think, either way. So yeah, we're about to enter into the walkthrough here in a second. And I did place the mailbox and the property management sign also. So there you have. So here you are entering the front of the building. You see this awesome U-shaped front porch with the property management sign out front and all the wonderful overgrown foliage. I love those little yellow and orange flowers. They're so pretty. So now we are heading into apartment number 1. So presumably, if you're like me and you go left to right, this will be apartment number 1, which will be the property owner's apartment. And it's very basic. There's hardly anything in it. They do get a shower and a toilet though. So, and I'm realizing now looking at this that they might not be able to use the counters. I meant to add an extra counter back in, but I forgot. Anyways, moving on. These 2 apartments back here are empty. I did paint the walls, but that was all I did. I deleted everything else so that it was as cheap as possible for your Sims to use when they move in. And then this would be apartment number 4, although starting out with a rags to riches, this is going to be labeled apartment number 2, so I'm not sure how that would work. I'm sorry, I didn't think of that until just now. But anyways, as you saw a second ago, there's a TV in this one for your tenants, so thought I'd give them a little bit of extra luxury. And then this is the utility room. Water heater, electrical panel, washer and dryer, whatever you want to put in there. It's a utility room, and there you have it. I did move it over to Tomarang, by the way, so it is on a Tomarang lot now, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!